Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dark Lord of Memes podcast. And I'm your host, with the most, Dark Lord Ainz. And I'm coming back at you with another edition of this great show. And this wouldn't be the Dark Lord of Memes podcast without my gracious, beautiful, lovely, darling co-host, Albedo. Albedo, how are you doing?
I'm really glad that you toned it down. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I won't have to call HR anymore.
Wow. Well, I like to put on, theatrics for the show a bit, so maybe it got out of hand and I got in the moment, but it happens to all the great performers. I mean, what do you want from me?
Because we can settle this out of court. Just you want a couple bands? Isn't that how it works nowadays?
Yeah, it's all out of court nowadays. So yeah, we're gonna start off this week like we do every week with the cheap plugs. Make sure you are following us on the YouTube channel, youtube.com. And the name of the channel is Dark Lord of Memes Podcast. Just type that in the search bar, and all of our podcast episodes will be available to you over there. And we are also available wherever you can access podcasts in general. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play. So yeah, covered all the bases. Make sure you show us some love, 5-star ratings, and share it with your friends and all that good stuff. So let me head on over to our top fans section on the page. We got 9 new top fans this week. I want to give them a shout out just for being supportive over on the meme page on Facebook, which if you haven't liked already, I don't know why you're wasting time. We're growing pretty quick, and the memes are fuego. I'm very proud of the content over there.
Cultivated from any corner of the internet.
Yeah, it ranges from everywhere. There's no boundaries. So if you're not a fan over there and you haven't liked or followed, shame on you. I'm impressed with the body of work. Quick shout out to Albedo for, she posts when she can, but she has some fuego memes as well, and I post some fuego memes on the reg, so it ain't nothing serious for real. But I just want to give a shout out to these people for loving the page so far. So thank you to Antoinette Martinez, thank you for being a new top fan. Stephen Miranda, thanks for being a new top fan. Jesus David Pentaleon, thanks for being a new top fan. Rhiannon K. Oliver, thanks for being a new top fan. Harley Ladd, thank you for being a new top fan, my man. Austin Arell, I think he's been a new top fan. I think he's been a top fan before, so he's pretty active. Thank you for the continued support. Jonathan Bridge, thanks for being a new top fan. Tony Paulson, thanks for being a new top fan. And Lane Austin Miller. He has 3 first names. Thank you for being a new top fan. So yeah, this week we are going to start off with our anime portion because if you don't know, Dark Lord Ainz is a weeb king in the community. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but people do come to me for anime recommendations, and they ask me questions. I'm somewhat of a sage to these people. So I just like to spread my wisdom of anime to others, because I'm just a huge fan. Albedo can attest. I watch anime all the time. Weeb gang, weeb life. So that's just, what I'm on. I don't know about you guys. So this week we're going to bring back the Anime Versus series, which I'm excited for, where we pit two anime characters one-on-one, and we basically, argue the position for each character, and we leave the answer up to the fans. Let us know in like the comment section on the videos, and let us know on the Facebook page, like, what do you think? Who do you think would come out on top? And I think we got two big time contenders, two heavy hitters, to put it quite frankly, two home run hitters, pretty much like Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa, if you know what I mean. Just two guys that have both reached the pinnacle of their professions and have never gone head to head. And I think it'd be an interesting fight to see, and I'm excited to get into it. So without further ado, we are going to argue for our Anime Versus series. So the two contenders this week are none other than the fourth Hokage from Naruto, Minato, versus the sixth Hokage,
Kakashi.
Yes. And it is a classic battle of teacher versus student.
I personally believe the student could surpass the master.
I am of the belief that I just think peak Minato, would be enough to handle. But, never, that's what we're here to debate, So, I always do ladies first, so would you like to, I guess, plead your case for the sixth Hokage of the Hidden Leaf Village in Naruto, Kakashi? Take it away.
Well, Kakashi ended up not graduating, but he ended up becoming a ninja at like age 6, dude. Like from 6, he's been gifted.
From age 6?
Yeah, like from age 6, he not only does he have a tragic backstory that continues to push him further, like he was.
Are you gonna get into the tragic backstory, or?
His mom died. His dad committed suicide because he failed a mission by going back to save a teammate. And so he commits suicide because ninjas are supposed to complete the mission no matter what's at cost.
Mm-hmm.
So he went back and rescued his teammate, and it ultimately caused him to fail.
Dang.
So he commits suicide. And Kakashi became a ninja at 6, and from every year that he was in school, like, he was the top of his class. Like, no matter what, he was the top of his class. Like, he got the highest scores, he did the best, and, obviously
kind of like a
he's
Sasuke of the time.
Like, obviously he's a prodigy, and, like, Naruto later on goes to state that Kakashi is better with his Sharingan than Sasuke. He's better at taijutsu than Guy. Like, talking about how he's better than, like, all these people that
are top characters.
Like, top in that one thing.
Right.
And Kakashi he's better than them. Like, he's like an avatar of the ninja world.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, I think it's probably underrated how strong Kakashi actually is. Like, I don't know, I know Kakashi is, like, very strong. Like, you said, like, he was, like, better than all those ninjas at, like, their, like, specialty, you know what I mean? And, there's a lot to say for that. And I think, and I you were saying that you think,
and not only, but like Minato is his teacher, so he sees his teacher's moves. He learns from Minato. Like, over that amount of time, you can learn your opponent, and you can
study them.
learn
But like,
to overcome
Minato
them.
was like observing him as well. Like, it wasn't just a one-way street. He was watching him grow and develop. You know what I mean? So it wasn't just like a one-way street. But my argument is, you know how you were saying earlier how Kakashi would have the advantage in like the strategy factor with being like smarter or more intelligence. I think Minato's intelligence is very slept on, because as I was like looking him up, like he's actually like very intelligent. Like he's I was looking up an article because I was looking up stuff to prepare, and there was like a really good article on it. Is this it? I think I found it. Okay, so this is from the Naruto Shippuden fandom like wiki page, which is basically like a page dedicated to like the show. Which, I mean, it deserves a wiki. Let's be honest, because Naruto's one of the greatest animes of all time. But according to Jiraiya, which we all know how much stock is put into the word of Jiraiya. He's one of the legendary 3 Sannin with Orochimaru and Tsunade. Let's not forget that, guys. So according to Jiraiya, Minato was one of the most talented shinobi who ever lived, a caliber that has yet to be met by anyone else. During the Third Shinobi World War, flee on sight orders were given to enemy shinobi should they ever see him appear on the battlefield. Flee on sight orders. When you see this person, you were immediately ordered to run away from them as fast as you can.
But everyone knows who Kakashi is. Like, literally Itachi said that he wasn't an opponent to be messed with.
But
Itachi
you gotta understand. Minato.
Like, yeah, we know Minato. He's Naruto's dad. He sealed a 9-tailed fox and his own son and died. We know Minato. Like...
So, no, Minato has a way deeper backstory than that.
You're like, I'm even offended that you just think that's it. That's all he's done.
No. So, I didn't even get into the story. I should have like brought up his backstory. But like, I just like pulled up like all his abilities, dude. I think it's like the combination of all these things would just like, because you gotta remember, he is Kakashi's sensei, and he also was the sensei of Obito Uchiha, and Uchiha. We all know how great the Uchiha family clan is. Like, Obito was not a slouch. And I think the third girl was like, I'm not sure if that was Kiba's mom or not. Ren, I think, but I think that's Kiba's mom, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that.
She died as a child, I'm pretty sure, because she had...
I don't think it was, but...
She had the 3 tails put inside of her, so she told Kakashi to kill her so that she wouldn't, like, have it unleashed on to innocent people, and Kakashi told her no. And so when they were attacked by those people, he went to go use a move on them. He went to go use like that lightning blade or something, and she jumped in front of him and killed herself by his hand. So Kakashi's like got that shit that he's dealing with, and he's still pushing forward, and that made him an Anbu. But he got out of the Anbu because he realized like friendship really is important, but he's still like recognized as a highly skilled person, and he's been in Anbu, he's been a teacher, he's been in like...
Yeah, I forgot he was an Anbu.
Like, honestly. He's been in like any and every type of like...
He was kind of like Itachi. Itachi did like all that stuff too.
Yeah, so like he's talented, like he's top of everything. He was top of his class. He was like basically a prodigy growing up. Like his father was a highly respected ninja till that like screw up. Mm-hmm. Like, he takes after his father. He's always been top of his class. He's just all of these, like, great things. He's, like, a perfect ninja, basically. And, yeah, like, he trained under Minato, but he really has like grown into his own like strength. Like he has a Sharingan, he has that Sharingan. You can like use that to basically plan steps ahead. Like he's the king of strategy, you know? Like he's always just one of those people that can come out on top no matter what. Like he's always ahead of you.
I don't know, man. I just think I understand. And so that's a good like opening argument, but I just think here's like kind of like my rebuttal. So I just want to like get into, I'm not going to get into like his actual abilities like that he's actually created. Like we all know he created the Rasengan. Like that's his jutsu.
Yeah, but Kakashi's done Chidori and even the lightning blade.
I'm gonna just pull up like his actual like just like chakra prowess that he does have. So I went in depth. So basically it says, you know, hold on. So it just like goes into further like how strong he was. So Minato was believed to be the only one who could have stopped the threat Orochimaru posed to Konoha, and for that reason his death was deeply regretted. Minato had sensory abilities, able to sense chakra signatures from great distances. For closer targets, he could detect everyone within an area by simply placing his finger on the ground. And then it says Minato had large chakra reserves, enough to summon Gamabunta and teleport the nine-tailed fox. Like he teleported a Jinchuriki. His chakra control was very refined, evidenced by his creation of the Rasengan. And although he was able to weave seals with only one hand, Minato's jutsu revolved around using no hand seals whatsoever, so he would not have to waste time in a fight. Or would not waste time in a fight. Minato was hailed as the fastest shinobi in history too, and this is like a key factor as like why I think he would be able to beat Kakashi with his speed. With this recognition was due in part to his space-time ninjutsu. Space-time ninjutsu. His natural speed and reflexes were practically instantaneous. So like I don't even know what that means, but it just sounds like very fast. Like his reflexes were practically instantaneous. He could react to and avoid such techniques as lightning. So, and then lightning released chakra mode and kumai. But then it also goes into like his ninjutsu. So Minato was taught by Jiraiya how to summon toads, and was one of the few people to earn the respect and cooperation of Gamabunta, like the giant toad thing, which is iconic in Naruto. He demonstrated skill and knowledge with barrier ninjutsu and could use the shadow clone technique. Minato's nature transformations included fire, wind, lightning, plus yin and yang, which we never saw yin and yang, but I don't know what the heck that could have been. But I don't know. I think it would be a really cool fight to see. I think it would probably be one of those, like, if they fought 10 times, they'd each win 5, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to say one is, like, clearly better than the other, but I think on any given day they could beat each other.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. They both have, like, numerous abilities. Like, I mean, I think Kakashi unlocked Mangekyo Sharingan.
I think they're both like top ninjas of their generations.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously both were of the level of Hokage. They both were Hokages, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they both reached the top. So it'd be like a clash of like the top ninjas. But
I really do I want to check out like Boruto, to be honest.
It's actually like, and like we can get into like a quick sidebar about this. I honestly don't get the Boruto hate that much. Like I feel like a lot of people
I feel like if you
don't give it a
continue to like,
chance.
I feel like if you compare it to the original,
That's what people are
like,
doing, and it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not going to be as good as the original.
Like, everyone has to realize that. Like, we know it's not going to be as good as that. Like,
because the original, like, already had all those big plot points that happened, already changed the fucking ninja verse or whatever. Like, they've already changed all that shit. They've already, like, gone through the hard shit to make that village, like, better and safer.
It's peaceful now. Like, because, like, there's no... Because that's what I was saying, because it's getting to the point where, like, they're having to bring people from other planets to fight Naruto and Sasuke, because, like, no one in the show, no one is stronger than Sasuke and Naruto. Like, after they beat the big villain in Shippuden, I can't remember her name. It's like maybe Momoku or something. Kaguya. I'm sorry, Kaguya. Who was like the mother of Indra and Andra. They're like the two twins, and like they found out that Naruto and Sasuke were the descendants of them, so they were like technically twin brothers, but not really. If that makes sense, because they were, but yeah, they were like descendants of like the twin brothers that she was the mother of. And they beat her, and like that was like kind of almost like beating like a demigod, low key. So like, and you got to remember, like, Sasuke only has one arm.
Yeah.
Like, if he had both of his arms, just imagine like how much. And he doesn't even need like his other arm. He's just like he's still on par with like Naruto and everyone with one arm. So yeah, that's freaking crazy. But yeah, so like now in Boruto, what I was saying was like they're having to bring like villains from like other planets and stuff to like fight now, because no one would dare challenge the Hidden Leaf Village. If anyone tried to attack the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto would annihilate them instantaneously. It would be over within seconds, and every other nation knows it, so like everyone's at peace.
Can I just say, like, the only thing I'm upset about, the only thing I'm angry about in that anime is Naruto's fucking haircut.
Oh my god, I know. Like, he should have went after his dad. Like, he turned into like a... Well, no, I guess it makes sense, honestly, because I think Minato's hair was like, more like crazy and, kind of like longer and stuff. But like he like grew up in like a different era. Like, you got to realize, like, once like that fight was over, it was just peaceful. Like, there were no... So like he kind of just grew up like, like an average guy. Like, he didn't have to go on missions, you know what I mean? Like, his dad was like out in the field, like, you know what I mean? But he grew up like his reign is like peaceful, because no one would dare threaten them unless you're from another world.
It's like, who are you gonna run up on? Naruto Uzumaki?
Like, do you really think?
Wrong with
do you really think
that
you could just come into the Hidden Leaf Village and try to take over? And because like that's what Boruto is. Like, they're basically like, not trying to spoil it if you haven't seen Boruto, but a lot of people have seen it. It's been out for a minute, but they're bringing like characters from like outer space and stuff.
The fuck?
Like, it's weird. I don't know. Like, they're not of this world. I'll say that.
You don't expect that in Naruto, though.
Yeah, and it doesn't really make any sense. Like, there's still like great story and like animation and stuff. Like, I enjoyed Boruto. I binged it. Like, I binged like the first 100 episodes, and then I took like a break for a bit just to watch like other stuff. But I like actually enjoyed it when I was watching it. But the thing is, like you were saying, back to your point, they're comparing it to the original, which isn't fair. You can't compare Boruto to Naruto. You just can't. Like, I don't think it's going to ever surpass Naruto. But you can enjoy it for what it is. Like, don't be too harsh on it. I think people are too harsh on Boruto. Hashtag give Boruto a chance.
I just want to complain about that stupid haircut.
I know, his haircut is trash. I know. He should have had his dad's haircut.
He looks like one step closer to Bobby Hill.
Oh, no, don't you dare say that.
I'll tell you what, baby.
So, yeah, like I said, back to Minato Kakashi. Just wrap that up real quick. Like I said, I think it'd be 50-50 down the line. Like, if they fought 10 times, 5 each, I think they're just split evenly. I think it just depends on like the roll of the dice. Like it really would come down into the moment and just be like a 50-50 shot of who won. But yeah, very evenly matched. But I would love to see that. But I wanted to hear your guys' opinion. Like, who do you think it would be? Like Sasuke? I mean, not Sasuke. Kakashi, Minato. Who would win in that fight? I'm interested to see what everyone thinks on that. So, the next topic this week. Let's see here. So we're gonna save that one for last, definitely. I guess I'll go into my little rant on the documentary known as The Last Dance. Now, if you are a NBA fan or a fan of professional basketball, a fan of Michael Jordan, this is a documentary event you will not want to miss, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you, this is going to be a very pivotal documentary series in the history of the illustrious career of His Airness, Michael Jordan. So, tonight, we're recording this on Sunday, so tonight at 9 p.m., the Last Dance documentary begins, and it is a behind-the-scenes, in-depth look, behind the curtain look of the 1997-1998 NBA championship run by the Michael Jordan-led Chicago Bulls. Now, at the time of this whole scenario, mind you, I was 2 years old, so I don't remember anything about like I did not grow up on the Jordan era of basketball. I am a product of the Kobe and LeBron era personally. Kobe was my Jordan, and I think he was the Jordan of a lot of like younger people's upbringing, just because he was who was on TV when we were growing up. Like Kobe was the guy, you know what I mean? Let's not forget the 2000 to 2002 three-peat team of Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, which I personally believe that team would have beaten any 90s Chicago Bulls team. Just want to throw that out there right now. The 2000 to 2002, that was the peak LA Lakers. They went on the three-peat. They could have won more if there weren't like internal squabbles, in my opinion. But I think that would have beat any Michael Jordan team. And that's just my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are going to listen to this and be like, you idiot, the Bulls would have beaten those Lakers. But hey, that's just my opinion. Maybe it's just because I grew up watching, Kobe just dominate, But that's just my opinion, and I'm allowed to have that opinion. I believe. I don't know, Albedo, am I allowed to believe that team could win? Or
you're allowed to think whatever you want to think.
Thank you, I appreciate it. See, she's got my back. So, but if you don't believe that, I want to hear your opinion in the comments. I want to hear the other side of the argument, obviously. And I think this documentary series is going to be the perfect opportunity for me to actually get an in-depth look of the opposition, because in sports, if you've just even been around sports, I mean, you've probably heard that who's better, MJ or LeBron. I think everyone's probably heard that, and I'm in the Team LeBron camp with my man Shannon Sharp. Shouts out to Shannon Sharp over on Undisputed. He's my guy. I love him. With Skip Bayless and Jenny Taft. I watch that show like religiously. But yeah, I'm in Team LeBron. I think he's a better all-around player. He scored more career points than Michael Jordan ever did with less shots taken. Just a better efficient player. Had averaged more rebounds, more assists. I think they were even in steals and blocks, and obviously more points. So I just think he's a better player. He's had more longevity. This is his 17th season. You know, LeBron's just the guy. Yeah, he's 3-6 in the finals. There's always that argument. Oh, he's 3-6 and Michael Jordan's 6-0. Okay, but he went to 9 finals. That's more than freaking Michael ever did. You know, and the teams that he were facing everyone admits were way better teams than Michael ever beat in the finals. Let's be honest. Michael beat a lot of old, beat up dynasty teams on the way out. I mean, he beat up aging teams. I mean, the level of competition LeBron was facing. LeBron freaking beat the team with the best record in the finals in 7 games. Like, you know what I mean?
You're just like, you guys don't know anything about this.
Like you
come
don't.
on.
Like, I'm trying to preach to the choir. They don't listen to me. But I'm telling you, I just think LeBron, his 3 championships, are like the same as the 6 championships that Michael won. I think if LeBron won like 2 more championships, like if he won some championships and while he's in LA, I think that would be enough to surpass MJ in totality. And that's just my opinion. Bringing championships back to LA, I think, would probably do it. But we still got to wait and see, because the NBA, there's no sports, and that's what's driving me crazy. Like, Albedo knows how much of a sports head I am, and there hasn't been anything to freaking watch. Oh my god, it's driving me insane. Like, they're just showing old football games. Like, I want to watch something live. And then the NBA tried to put on this freaking NBA horse contest. Like, bruh, I want to see a real game. The NBA playoffs were supposed to start. I don't want to see these B-list basketball players freaking playing horse in their backyard or in their personal gym. Like, I want to watch. I want my games back. Please bring back the NBA. Please.
You're desperate.
I'm so
You're desperately pleading.
Please,
guys.
Just play in empty arenas. Just, please, if you have to do that, just play in empty arenas. Just put the cameras in there. And
let us see.
We'll just hear them talk, and we'll hear the sneakers squeak on the court. All right? And we'll hear the grunts.
Goodness.
The grunts. I want to hear the grunts. They go for a layup. You'll just here. Let's just mic up all the players. You might as well.
Like with the Vince's football team.
Yeah, like the XFL did, and their helmets and stuff. We'll just mic them. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's back to the point. I went on a segue, but back to the whole thing. The Last Dance. I'm very excited to watch, because I'm very intrigued to see the greatness that was Michael Jordan. Now let me clarify. I went to a huge diatribe of why I believe LeBron James is better, but that's not to say that I don't neglect the greatness that Michael Jordan was by any stretch. If LeBron is 1, MJ's 1A, if you know what I mean. He's just right under him. And I'm excited to see that, but I'm also excited to see this documentary. I think it's a 10-part series, I believe. A lot of behind the scenes footage. I'm so excited to see some nostalgic, footage and stuff, iconic footage. Speaking of iconic footage, I've been watching the Undisputed on I think it's on Fox with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, and they keep using a lot of old Jordan footage to hype up the documentary, because obviously that's what everyone's talking about right now. This documentary was supposed to drop 2 months later, or 2 months from now, but they pushed up the date because there's nothing on. So they're let's push this up, give the people some content. So that's very exciting too, because I want to watch this immediately. So yeah, I'm excited to see the other side. I'm excited to see how good MJ was, but he's afraid that this whole documentary is going to make him look like a bad guy, apparently, is what I've been hearing. Apparently, because let's not ignore the fact that Michael Jordan did swing on one of his teammates in practice and like punched him in the face. So we know that Michael Jordan is kind of an ass. He punched a little Steve Kerr, like a little white guy too. Like, bro, don't be a bully.
For what reason?
I don't know. Like they're in like I want to. That's why I'm willing to. I want to watch the documentary because I know the story's out there. I know there's an explanation. I just don't personally know because like I said, I didn't grow up in that era. But I do know that like in a practice, he like swung on freaking little Steve Kerr, like punched him. I'm like, dude, that's your teammate. Calm down. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'd ever do that to my teammate unless like. I don't know what he could have done during a practice to really make him that upset.
Yeah.
But hey, I wasn't there and I don't know the full story, so. But yeah, I'm willing to. I want to see all that stuff, dude. I want to see all the footage. Give it to me all, please. So yeah, I'm very excited for the Last Dance. I think I'll do like reviews of that. On like at certain points, probably not of every episode, but probably like after watching the first episode and then like after watching the entire series, like what did I come to in terms of Michael Jordan. So I don't know if it's gonna make me think of him as a bad guy. I don't really have an opinion of Michael Jordan right now. I just know like he's a great basketball player, but I don't know much of like his actual personality. Like I know LeBron's personality. I know he's very, nice. He's all about like just basically how he plays basketball is kind of like his personality. Like he's about getting his teammates involved. Like he knows he could go out there and drop like 35 points every night, but he wants to also like get his teammates involved. So he's like a facilitator. He likes to pass the ball. He likes to, create open shots for his teammates. He's that type of player. He'll still, go out there and give you 27 points too because he's just great. He just like rolls out of bed and gives you like 27 and 10 pretty much. And like 8 on any given night. Stat wise. He's a walking triple double about. He'll give you everything you need. But he could be like a crazy scorer if he wanted to, and we all know that. Like Skip Bayless even says he's the greatest driver of the basketball in history. Like he can get to the bucket at will, so no one can really stop him. But I'm excited to see the myth and the legend, and people like say like they kind of give like Michael Jordan like godlike, like they kind of put him on a god level is like how people are like putting it. Like they said he'd like levitate, and he was like a lot of players said he was Jesus in sneakers, and I don't know. Like maybe there's some stuff I just haven't seen, so I'm excited to see if there is. So, like I said, I'm excited for that. So let's get into our third topic, which I'm excited to talk about. My personal opinions on COVID-19 as it stands right now, and like my potential fears and concerns regarding it. Basically, I'll give my take on the situation as it is right now, and hoping Albedo can provide some classic commentary as she always does, because she's just a walking fountain of knowledge. So, yeah. So basically, in my neck of the woods, I say I'm in the Midwest, so there's basically been a coalition of Midwestern states that have all decided to basically, start the process of reopening their states during the COVID-19 pandemic. And if if you're listening, things have been closed down. We haven't had restaurants. There's nowhere to go. Can't go get a haircut. You can't, do a lot of things. Can't go to the movies. Yeah, true. Shout out to Barber Albedo. But yeah, there's just a lot of things you can't do right now. People are getting stir crazy, and the weather's been pretty well or it's been pretty good around here. It's been warm, but then like other days it gets like really rainy, so you don't really want to go out anyways. But basically, these Midwestern governors, there's like a group of 8 or 9 of them, that I believe, that are all pretty much going to start the process of reopening their economies in their states. And um, just as an observer, as a knowledgeable observer, I don't really get into like my background. I mean, I have like a bachelor's degree from Ohio State in political science and world history, or world politics. I'm sorry, was my minor. So I mean, I have like, you know, that knowledge on top of just me working at my, government job. Um, my personal take is I think this is a bad idea. Um, and the reason why I think it's a bad idea is just because they're saying they want to start the process May 1st, which is, I believe, like 2 weeks away. About 2 weeks from now. And I just think that will be too soon just because we don't have enough testing. As you well know, testing has been scarce for, a lot of states, not just where I'm from. Um, and so, like, I did some research and I did find this article that, kind of confirmed my fears because a Pew Research Center's poll, I mean, if you know Pew Research, they're kind of the king of polls. That's what they do. They just do polls. So Pew Research Center's poll found 66% of respondents were concerned states will reopen public activity too quickly, compared to 32% who are more concerned they won't open quickly enough. So 2/3 of Americans worry that the governments will lift the restrictions on public activity too quickly. And I think that's the right stance to have. Pew Research backs up what I was kind of thinking. I just kind of had that hunch, and so I decided to look into it. But they do a further breakdown as well. So an overwhelming majority of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents in the poll, 81%, said they were concerned about premature reopening of public life, while Republican respondents were more split, which is kind of what I would expect as well.
Yeah.
To kind of like how it would break down. And so my thing is, if we start reopening May 1st, right, the process, and like and here's the thing, I can't have like a full, fully examined analysis of it because they haven't even rolled out what it's going to be. I'm assuming we'll have an announcement Monday.
Yeah.
Because he said it's going to be like a very slow rollout. It's going to be a three-phase process. But I'm also wondering because the governor, I'm just going to say Governor Mike DeWine, he has said that if you do have the ability to work from home, we want you to work from home. And I've been working from home for like the last month or so, a little more. And I'm just wondering if that's going to apply to us or if they're still going to have us like go back and like risk it.
Yeah.
Because it also gets to the point like how much do you care about human life at the end of the day? I mean, I just don't want it. It feels like it's getting to a point where they're choosing the economy over human lives.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to get to that point where like an American dollar or like currency is like weighed more than a human life, or the value of a human life, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say human life is more sacred than that. So that's just kind of my thing, is like if we reopen too soon and we're not ready, like if we start like being, more social in any capacity, is there a possibility of a second surge? And if there is a second surge, do we have the capability to fight that on top of what we're already dealing with? because I think if we want to start the process of reopening, we have to be sure that it's 100% the right time to do it. You know what I mean? We only get one shot at this. So if we, mess up and do it too early and we don't have the capacity to rebound from this, where do we go from there? Like, I don't know, but I don't think it'll be good.
Definitely not.
So, I don't know. That's just kind of like my feelings on it right now. Is like, they're saying it's going to be a slow process. Maybe it goes like super slow and like, May 1st, come May 1st, I don't know what the first phase would include, but.
I, as someone that works for the public, like, I am still considered an essential employee.
Right.
I'm still, like, in the store dealing with customers, and our customers, like, we have been very busy lately. It's not like just essential people coming in, grabbing what they need before they head to work, or, nurses coming to get, like, coffee on their lunch break and stuff. It's, like, actual everyday people that don't have a job right now still coming in, people that, have children at home or have,
so people
like,
aren't,
family
like, really
at home.
staying at home.
They're not taking it serious anymore. Like, I see that firsthand. People aren't serious about this anymore. Everyone's already just walking around, going wherever the fuck they can.
Yeah. Like, I feel like life really hasn't changed much. Like, people are probably still doing whatever they were doing before the stay-at-home order. I mean, besides, like, going to, like, the restaurants and bars and stuff because they're closed down, but they're still, walking around or whatever. Which I'm assuming is probably fine unless you don't get in, like, huge groups, but, it's still better to stay at home.
Yeah, like, we have, like, our floors marked with X's on where you can stand in line, and no one pays attention to that. Like, there's a little old lady, like, right in front of this guy, and he was practically riding her ass.
Wow.
Like, a little old lady, dude. You could kill her. She could probably be at home right now coughing her guts up because, like, you decided to stand directly behind her and, like, cough on her.
Did he cough on her?
He was, like, standing right behind her. Like, if he breathes, like, he could probably get some shit on her.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean,
so
that's a concern, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, it gets back to the point, I hope that whatever, they come up with, because, other another neighboring states around where we are, like, they've extended their stay-at-home orders to, like, ended mid-June. I think it was, like, Wisconsin did it, I think, till, like, June 12th or something like that. Some state did, recently. And, I thought that was probably what was going to happen here, but, I don't think it is. I think basically our governor's receiving pressure from just business owners, mostly small business owners, and other businesses, because people that works for them, and in the factories and stuff, they want to go back to work and they want the economy to go back to how it was, and they were selling stuff so they can provide for their families, which I totally understand. But like I said, you have to do it at the right time. It's all about timing.
Is making money worth possibly losing members of your own family?
Yeah. Is it really? And you just gotta weigh that. I don't think it is. But yeah, I'm just, and like I said, we have to wait, we have to see, we have to be very, observant of what our governor announces, and, I guess we just got to go with what he says. I mean, we don't have a choice, but we got to hope that it's good. I mean, he's been doing well so far, but I just personally think he's falling victim to the pressures of the business owners wanting the economy to reopen, and I'm afraid that we're going to get back to being more social than we should be, and not taking this as serious as we should. thus causing a second surge possibility to occur, and do way more damage than we ever thought. So I'm hoping that's not what happens, but without a vaccine and us learning how to deal with this thing and getting the testing and all the required things that we need, it's gonna be a long haul. There's gonna be some hard days to come for a lot of people. But I guess we just got to stay united and, comfort one another. Because, we're all in this together at the end of the day. Like, it affects everybody. It's affected every county of the state where we live, pretty much. It's affected the world. So.
But hey, I get hazard pay, so $2 extra. I'm probably going to get my hours cut. Hours are going down. They gave us like a $2 hazard pay, and like, what's hazard pay gonna give us when our hours are gone? So like, a lot of people are upset about that.
And then people are probably gonna get laid off. Well, you probably do like Shared Work Ohio program or Shared Work program where your guys are all cutting hours. So you guys can all remain working or something like that. Or, what would be a worse scenario is they furloughed and laid people off, and then more people had to get on unemployment, and then it's hurting our unemployment even more than it is already, because, they're just getting flooded with like hundreds of thousands of people on the system that's, very outdated. So... yeah, that's worrisome. But, gotta remain positive.
We got other countries, like, making fun of us because we don't know how to take care of our people in times like this, and they're all laughing at us. And it's like, you get online and there's memes about how much of a train wreck the U.S. is and how everyone's laughing at us. And it's like, dude, just leave us alone. We know this shit sucks. We know our government sucks. We know our government's like bending us over backwards and shoving it up us.
I posted a meme literally about that before we started this episode. Like, should I just pull it up real quick?
Yeah, because I want to see.
Like, it's literally directly related to what you just said. I love that. So, because I knew I was going to do this topic, so I was like, I'll post this and see if. Here it is.
Like, dude, I hate this.
This is for you.
Dude, this seriously makes me so mad. Like, I'm an essential worker. I'm only making $2 extra, possibly gonna get my hours cut,
Like, you could be making more on unemployment right now
than I do. Yeah, exactly. Not to mention, like, the fact that, like...
this is kind of like the perfect time to take advantage of that, Loki.
In order for me to get unemployment, my job would have to let me go.
Yeah. Oh, because of reasons of COVID-19. That's right. You couldn't, like, if you were to quit, you wouldn't get it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. Like, if they furloughed, then maybe.
Yeah, like, it just sucks, though, because it's like, hey, I want that security of being able to have that job, like, because I get health insurance.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep health insurance.
Like, I get health insurance, I get dental insurance, vision insurance, I get money, like, the money covers, my half of the rent, the utilities, stuff like that. Like, if they, like, had me go on an unemployment, like, it would be weeks before I would even get that first check and stuff. But, like, it's still upsetting at the fact that, like, I'm literally getting coughed on when I go to work. Like, I'm literally having grimy-ass money being handed to me and, like, people handing me wet money and shit. And it's like, I don't know what's on this. I don't know if this is, like, hand sanitizer, if someone, like, wiped their nose with this and trying to spread it. Like, you see stuff online about how people are, like, coughing on things or, like, purposely cross-contaminating and, like, I work around, like,
so you need to be, I think, if you're gonna, like I'm saying, like, especially since you're an essential worker, I think if you are an essential worker like you are, there definitely needs, you have to be well compensated for it, like at least like they have to like drastically increase pay, or something. Like they gotta help you guys out because right now a lot of people can make more on unemployment than essential workers working, which should not be the case.
And what sucks even more is if I do end up sick, what am I gonna do? I'm screwed. If I do end up sick, like, I still have to keep my job, but how am I going to keep my job if I'm in the hospital? How am I going to pay for being in the hospital if I have no money because I'm not able to work? Like, I'll have that health
insurance. That's what I'm saying. They have to
yeah,
compensate you guys.
It's one of those things that sucks. Like, I'm literally going into work every single day, like, risking the possibility of getting it.
But listen to this. There may be hope. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to bring this up. You know, I understand your worry, definitely. That's why I wanted to bring this article up, because there may be hope. So, I just pulled up this article titled, and I think you probably heard of this, maybe. I don't know if you haven't heard of it or not, but proposed $2,000 monthly stimulus checks and canceled rent and mortgage payments for 1 year. This is a bill proposal. So, the CARES Act, which if you don't know, the CARES Act passed recently. I think it signed March 27th, which granted, you know, access to federal funds for pandemics like this. So, it provided a lot more money to states' unemployment, you know, because unemployment was running out for a lot of people. But like it says in the article, the CARES Act provided a lifeline for taxpayers and small businesses. But as a one-time cash payment, many fear that it didn't do enough to support taxpayers in one of our country's greatest times of need, especially in light of the fact that many people still have not received their stimulus checks. And we have, thankfully. Yes. Thank God. But I know people still haven't. But I think most people we know have gotten them. I know a lot of people that we know have gotten them already, but I know there's people that still haven't. So they said to address this, members of Congress have made two separate proposals. One that would provide Americans over the age of 16 with a $2,000 monthly check for up to 12 months, and one that would cancel rent and mortgage payments through the duration of the coronavirus emergency. Now, if these passed, that would be, I think that would be pretty, you know, great. That would be pretty amazing, right?
Definitely.
Like imagine $2,000 a month for 12 months and no rent and mortgage payments. Now, it becomes like if it's retroactive and we have to like pay it back after this, like that would suck. But if it's not, that would be amazing. Like if things could like stay the same and we don't have to pay this back, I would personally be fine with these bills passing.
Me too.
$2,000 a month would go pretty far. For a year too. Like that's what, 24 grand at the end of it?
Yeah.
24K plus you don't have to pay rent for the duration. Like after this was over, maybe the economy could like boost back because all these people have, like, everyone has money now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like hopefully like people would be responsible and like save it. Like I'm of the belief like a lot of people would do that, and like we would obviously like save and, you know, not spend beyond our means. But I think there would be selfish people too, obviously, like probably would like blow it. But I think once this was over,
you pull up with a ski mask and you take all their shit, while you still keep your resources, you know.
Yeah, the huge. But yeah, I think that would be a great, like, once this was over, like I think they're saying, I keep hearing like 12 months to 18 months for a vaccine or something like that for the coronavirus is what they're saying. To have a vaccine, that is. So, you know, what if it like ends in a year? Say it, you know, the pandemic's over in a year, or maybe like we all get an immunity for it at some point. Then at the end of it, like the economy could just boost right back up because everyone has all this money now. Like the government's been helping you out. You haven't had to pay rent and mortgage, you know. Like that'll be a huge help. But like I said, if you have to pay that back, that's gonna be rough. Which I don't with the I think a lot of people were worried about the 1,200 that they gave us like recently.
Yeah, but it's not gonna come out.
Yeah, it's not gonna come out of next year. Like you'll still get something next year.
Yeah.
A lot of people were worried that it was like, oh, we just won't get one next year, or we'll have to pay it or whatever. But yeah, this I'm excited about this bill. So let's see. The Emergency Money for the People Act would provide a $2,000 monthly payment to every qualifying American over the age of 16 for up to 12 months. Hey. So, I mean, I'm down. Honestly. It has like more qualifying things too. Every American aged 16 and older making less than $130,000 annually would receive at least $2,000 per month. Married couples earning less than $260,000 would receive at least $4,000 per month. Qualifying families with children will receive an additional $500 per child for up to 3. Dang, that's not bad.
Babe, we need a child.
Just $500 each.
Yes.
I think that's basically like what the next console. No.
Damn. Sell out your own flesh and soul for a console.
Would never. I could buy the next console right now if I wanted to.
Oh no need to flex. Like, okay, we get it.
Not trying to flex, but I think it's an interesting scenario. So we'll see. I'll keep my eyes on the COVID-19. We have no choice. I mean, it's everywhere. So, and then last but not least, my darling, and this was a topic that you actually brought up and kind of created for the main event. Are we all racist?
Yes. Listen, okay. So I genuinely think, like, whether you realize it or not, like, everyone's racist. The Japanese, they're racist, they make racial commercials putting a black guy in a war shirt.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah, and make him come out Asian, like there's
wow.
Like that's what that commercial did. Like,
yeah, I know.
There's just so many things that are like that. And it's just one of those things that's like there's always gonna be like stupid little comments that's like in the back of your mind, like stereotypes are always going to be thrown around, people not able to differentiate like what a stereotype is versus like how reality. Someone truly is,
right.
And those are just things that people like base an entire race off of, and like so whenever you meet someone outside your race for the first time, like those stereotypical things are usually like the first thing out of your mouth. So everyone's always going to end up having something like slightly racist in the back of their mind because everyone pussyfoots like around topics and issues, and they
a quick question. So would you say everyone has just like an implicit bias on like just like on
I feel like people try too hard not to be racist that they
end up being racist.
Yeah, so they pussyfoot over trying to say like certain things because they're like, oh no, that's going to be racist if I say this, and then they end up saying something racist.
Right. And so I was definitely of that mindset as well. I was like, well, I think people just have like, an implicit bias. Like I think that, people just kind of, like you were saying, like people just take like stereotypes and generalize entire races of people.
Like, everybody wants to be, like, better than somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the end of the day...
There needs to be a pecking order always.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, whether it's, like, women-hating men, like, something, like, as simple as, you know, just different races or different genders or different sexualities or different identities, you know, someone's always going to be... like, wanting to be better than that other person. Like, oh, no, you're not special just because you're this. Like, I'm special because I'm this. You know?
Right.
Like, I'm a woman. Like, I'm better than men because I'm a woman. You know? Like, here's why I'm better than a man. Like, but men also have, like, here's why I'm better than a woman. Blah, blah, blah. And it's...
Yeah, so...
even something as simple as that. Like, someone's always going to be like, oh, no, like... misogyny or feminism or racism.
Yeah. So I was like, when I like looked further into this, I was like, well, are we all racist? Well, I think to a certain extent, yeah. I think we kind of all are. Whether we intentionally mean to be or not. Whether we
naturally do it or like...
yeah, whether it's intentional is the thing. Like whether we're intentionally trying to be racist or like it's unintentionally racist just because of like stereotypes and, you know, things we've experienced while we've, you know, grown as a person. But then I think there was like as I was looking into this, there was like another interesting argument that I want to bring up, but I'll get into like this opening statement that they have. So I brought this like BBC article. I was just like doing some research, and this article says, few people openly admit to holding racist beliefs, but many psychologists claim most of us are nonetheless unintentionally racist. We hold what are called implicit biases. So what is implicit bias? How is it measured, and what if anything can be done about it? So I just think that, so like I was like looking into implicit bias, and it says implicit bias has been used to explain at least partially everything from the election of President Trump, implicit bias against his female opponent, and the disproportionate number of unarmed black men who were shot in the U.S. by police. It also says the notion that many of us suffer from various forms of implicit bias has become so commonplace that it was even mentioned by Hillary Clinton in one of her presidential debates with Trump. I think implicit bias is a problem for everyone, she said. So, I mean, it's been said by even, like, you know, top figures.
Yeah, see, I definitely think that's, like, something that really does, like, exist, you know? I think everyone's always going to be, like, whether it's someone that tries so hard to be... like a white person and try to be an ally of like black people and like put themselves like on some kind of moral pedestal instead of like supporting them, they speak for them and they like do things like that. Like that's no better than someone that's like taking away the voice for hate. Like, racism can be either you speaking for a black woman as a white woman and taking her voice away, or being racist and out of hate taking that black woman's voice away. Like, I feel like either way, that's, you know, you deciding, like, inherently what's racist and what's not racist is, like, not including, you know, that voice.
Yeah, so it later goes on to say that, I was like reading like, so they basically take the argument like, well, yeah, it is implicit bias, but like also is it partially like behavior as well? Because, so here they took like the story of like this cop, I believe. And it says, I think it was talking about like young black men. So it says, what they are doing on a daily basis is trying to deal with the breakdown of family and bourgeoisie norms in inner city areas that leads to so many young black men gangbanging in the streets. Joshua Cordell has found that officers' neurological threat response is more pronounced when confronting black suspects. Might that be because black males have made up 42% of all cop killers over the last decade, though they are only 6% of the population? Or because the individuals involved in the daily drive-by shootings in American cities are overwhelmingly black? Until those realities of crime change, any allegedly stereotypical associations with blacks in crime and the public mind will remain justified and psychologically unavoidable. Those crime rates will also affect the pool of job candidates without a criminal record, further reducing the likelihood of proportional representation in the workplace. So basically it's saying that, it is also part like actual statistics, like in some places as well, like the behavior of the place. Like not saying that like those behaviors taking place isn't because of reasons out of the people's control, like the black males' controls in like the cities, because like sometimes like people just have like a bad roll of the dice and they have no other options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just trying to survive.
Yeah, it's just like survival at that point. But like it's also a fact, like the stats are the stats. Like 42% of all cop killers are black. So like it makes sense why a cop would, I guess, have a neurological threat response when confronting black suspects, just because that is a statistic. Now saying that's right is not what I'm saying. Yeah, like I'm not condoning that at all, but it's like also
just human behavior is to protect yourself.
Yeah, it's just to be alert and to be on guard, and I think it sucks too because of also that point. It says they're 42% of all cop killers, and they're only 6% of the population, so they're getting overly targeted. That's the word, like overly targeted when there's such a small proportion of the population as well, which is also very rough. Which
also just forces them to be like in such a low place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a cycle that you can't break and become better from. That's always going to be like the battle between like a cop and a black man is one of those battles that's, there's never going to be a winner. Mm-hmm. They're just going to keep forcing each other and pushing each other to the point, like, there's no winner, there's no loser. Like, we know not to trust cops. Like, we know we can't. We understand, like, when a cop gets shot, like, it's sad, because it's a human life. But at the same time, like, that's someone's job threatened, someone else's life.
Yeah.
Or is it, someone else's life threatening that cop? We're never going to know the answer to that.
That's very true. And so, like, I think the main takeaway from this, like, whole discussion is just, like, I mean, I think until those, like, behavioral statistics, like, change in, like, some parts of, the country and the world, it's going to be very hard to get rid of that implicit bias that's there with people.
They're not going to be able to change because of the fact that, like, society.
But yes, like it's already been like embedded at this point.
Yeah, society always ends up pushing black people down, and like they built this country on the backs of slavery. Like, they've always talked down to black people, and they've always held them down. And that's always going to be something that's ingrained into even, a black community.
Absolutely.
Like, they're not going to be able to rise above that because society's not giving them that chance. They're not giving them the same rights and equality as a white child. So they grow up in such a negative and, like, such a bad part of society to keep them from rising.
Yeah.
So, society
more racial equities or racial equality, I mean to say, is needed definitely.
Yeah, so they're always going to end up holding, black people down, and they're always going to continue that cycle within I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
You're good. So I think that's probably going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Dark Lord of Memes podcast. Like every week, make sure you go and like us on YouTube. Go like, comment, and subscribe on the Dark Lord of Memes podcast YouTube channel. Also, make sure to go like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Dark Lord Ainz, and you will see the Dark Lord of Memes podcast pop up. So go give us a like, go enjoy the content, and come join us back next week as we come back with another great slate of topics to discuss with you. Thank you guys once again, and have a great day.